But your volume is little down, little bit down.
I'll speak loudly. Don't worry. You'll be able to
Okay,
hear me.
okay.
Anyway, so I can see that something happened. Are you okay?
Oh, yes. Now it's getting better.
Is everything okay? What happened?
Oh, monsoon season. So I live in open areas. So some insect that crawled or crushed on my cheek.
And the insect left such a big scar.
It is only one third now.
Wow,
It
really?
was from my left eye to my this lip.
Oh my God. This
I had
literally
a
looks like
burnt.
this literally looks like you were trying to stop a mugging and somebody hurt you or something like that.
Ha ha ha. Yes, people can say anything.
It looks like it, I mean.
Yes, I know. So now it's good. Better means like I am not feeling much pain or itchiness. Otherwise, it was just burning sensation and lot of pain and blisters were there and water was coming out of that skin. So it was one finger wide. Now it is like slowly and slowly disappearing from my face.
This is the healed version, basically.
Yes, it is.
The healed version, like this is much better than it was
Yes,
initially.
yes. This is the healed scar. Yes, yes, yes.
Well, okay, take care.
And
Hopefully, it won't,
that is why I have not applied anything today. Otherwise, I was covering my face, half face covered, because it was means pathetic. You cannot look at my face when there was a large scar.
I hope it didn't hurt too much.
Of course, it was. I am telling you, it was just like burnt. Somebody like it was just like a acid attack
What
on my
what
face.
what sort of insect was that?
It was a beetle type category and pedris. It's named pedris. It is a small
And
insect, a little bit large in size than ant, and red and black in color. And it
so is
gives this
this a
linear.
bite, a stab? Like, is it acid? What is it?
It might be some acid, like which they inject uh, to defend themselves. So I didn't know anything. I was sleeping. While sleeping, I got this.
Oh, so like when it actually happened, you weren't woken up. You just woke up in the morning and this was there.
No, 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 and I didn't felt anything. Like in the early morning when I woke, I felt that my skin is burning, my skin is burning, and nothing was visible that time. Only I was feeling sensation. I was applying cold water and ice, and I was not able to see what is there on my face.
Okay.
So gradually after one day it happened and it turns to its full size and reddish and pinkish color, then red, then brown. And then I visited my dermatologist. Then I came to know what is wrong with my skin. Now it's good.
Hopefully, this goes away really quickly and it doesn't hurt you too much.
Yes, yes. Within a day or two, it will disappear.
Oh, thank God.
Hmm.
Anyway, what would you like to talk about today?
I wrote one message like how storytelling or how short stories can help in learning English.
Okay, that's a very interesting topic. So, what are your views on this? Like, do you usually try to find platforms that will give you a short story with like better vocabulary, or are you more of a visual learner?
I love to listen stories, and I'm fond of listening to every sort of story. Like it might can be related to life lessons or some emotional, romantic story, any sort of means whatever
Mm-hmm.
things I find, I can just listen it. So why stories are important? Because you came across new vocabulary, new sentence structure, and if the topic is according to your interest, you try to listen it more carefully and try to do the things, means try to grasp that English language from that, like in the sense of phrases and vocabs and idioms, or how adjectives are being used, how tense is being used.
Right, right. So I personally think storytelling is a very important aspect in communication itself, right?
Yes,
Now there are
yes.
different ways people can story like master this art of storytelling. Imagine you and I are in like this book club, okay, where we're assigned one book every week, and we have to go to the meeting every Friday, Sunday, whenever the meeting is, and then one person has to share what they've read in the book, what they learned from the book, right? So
Mm-hmm.
when you are communicating, when you're trying to share this with other people, they've all read the book, but the test is going to be about your communication, how you are sharing the story. It's maybe a 200-page book, but you have to explain the whole story in like 10 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So storytelling is very important in a sense that not only does it help you explain things that you learned or read, storytelling is very important in the sense that you can share your imagination or what your vision is for something. I'll give you an example. A lot of companies have founders who are really good communicators. Okay. Now, when a founder is not someone who can communicate or be presentable in the public, then they hire somebody who can do it for them, right? That's why we have spokesperson for any company, right? So their job is to sort of spin a story into the positive. Even if you made a loss, how do I make it look like, yes, this is a step in the right direction, right? Now, when it comes to reading short stories and watching short movies or shows, it's very important for you to understand that you have to be able to explain and understand the industry or the genre that you're looking at. I'll give you an example. You are a teacher, right? You may have a lot of other interests like cars, cooking, sports, right? These are very generic interests in India, right? Dancing maybe, right? Or maybe even reality shows. But if I make you watch a 5-10 minute video about um, some gangster in London, or if I make you watch some, I can already see the dread on your face that you're not interested. But yeah, like if
I
I give
hate
you
I hate crimes and negativity.
right, so I just meant like the genre. If I make you watch that story, you won't be that engrossed. You will not be that interested in absorbing the words that you hear, words, sentences, whatever you mentioned, right? So it's important to find things that you might like, things that sort of overlap your areas of interest. Okay, so I'll give you an example. I love football, I love sports, but I started watching this show that has more to do with volleyball. Okay, now volleyball is a sport that I've played with my friends, but I've never followed on television. But once I started following it, the storytelling of that show is so good, where they make you fall in love with the characters, where they make you follow the team, that okay, you want only this team to win even though the other team is much better, like they're the best team in Japan, right? But I want my team to win even though they're underdogs. So storytelling can sway emotions. Storytelling can make people believe in businesses, in ideas, in inventions, right? So it is very important for people, especially people who are in business, right? Any sort of business, it is very important for them to understand how storytelling works and how they will use it to their advantage in any situation.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Have you ever had an
So
incident in your life where you had to like share a story?
my life is a sort of story, but this is not the right place to share. I have many things. Yes, I have experienced many things in
Mhm.
my life.
Okay, no, I meant I don't mean like in a serious negative manner. I meant like a situation where you were able to pitch your business to investors to get funding or like, something like that.
No,
No?
no.
Okay. All right. So what do you think people should do when it comes to finding resources to become a good storyteller or to understand how storytelling works?
See, storytelling is an activity where a learner organize. First, they gather the thoughts, get an idea what to express. Then, as a plot of story, gradually means
Progresses.
it take its form. So that writer or that person organize his or her thoughts in the form of like that what part should be presented in the for the introduction, then subplot should also be there, then conclusion or climax, before that climax should be there, and of course out of that story there should be some motive or moral. That teaching should be always be the part of main, means that should be the main idea of the story. And means when person tries to tell the story or write the story, they always first think in English, they organize their thoughts, then they bring it in writing, and after writing they present it in the form of speaking English, narrating a story in the sense. So what should keep in mind is like there should be one prominent idea and all your thoughts should be connected or with that idea. You should not drift from the main idea, like talking about cooking and then shifting to some drama or football. That makes no sense in that thing.
Stick to
Yes,
the
you
point.
should add. Sorry.
Stick to the point. That's what you're trying to say.
Yes, stick to main idea, stick to the point, create some two, three characters, and that character should be from your neighborhood or from our community. And always try to describe one incident. That incident should be in detail in the sense that you should be expressive. You should be able to articulate yourself. You should describe the things or other things in the way that um, mm, like the person have that vision or imaginary. I mean to say that from pen, pen has that power. Like with pen you can portray anybody, you can give a picture description of
Yeah.
incident or a place or a person. So like if I mention here, I have read Three Idiots and Half Girlfriend, and in Bollywood we have movies also on those novels. So it is like I feel that of course they have done the justice with the topic or with the storyline, but when we read the story in the form of novel and when we see it on the screen, I think novel deserves more applaud, because a writer has described it in like a writer describes in every intricacies of the scene or thought or the feeling emotions in such a nice way by using words. And I feel that characters or the actors, those who are doing it on silver screen, they are doing just only half of the work. So
Hmm.
I, before watching movie, I have gone through those novels, and after that watching movie, it was like, oh, so plain, means they are not doing the justice what the writer have presented. So story or words have power, and story clicks a lot, means from very ancient times we are used, or we use, like our grandparents, they use folk tales to give moral teaching or life lessons, life teaching. And same we have when we teach in our schools, we have textbooks, and all textbooks have one chapter in the form of story. So why story is important? Because it covers all the aspects of English learning.
Definitely. Yeah.
And of course, moral lessons, life lessons are always there. So you learn
Yeah.
new vocab. You should use, means what should we should keep in mind? Use new words, new vocab, new sentence structures, and you try to use more adjectives to make catchy, to make your story catchy.
Yeah. Not just catchy, but also be able, like, you should write or you should explain things in such a way that people should be able to visualize in their brains what you're trying to explain.
Yes,
Right.
yes, yes.
So when well, like, I don't know about Three Idiots, but I've read a lot of books where they're talking about fiction, or they're talking about aliens or a different planet maybe, but they explain it in such a way that when you close your eyes you can sort of see the planet forming around you, you know. You can see when
Mm-hmm.
they when the writer says that the planet was full of a lush jungle with light green shades and colorful animals like the iguanas and the
Yes,
rabbits.
yes,
They
yes.
were of different colors, right? So when you sort of
Yes.
close your eyes you can see the green jungle, you can see that a colorful animal is running past a tree, you know, right? So
Yes, yes.
I think it's really cool how writers have developed over the years, because as humans we've been writing for ages, for thousands of years.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that when you're comparing books and movies, yes, they can do justice to a story, but they have a lot of levels to transmit information. They can do it through music, they can play sad music to you'll feel a little low. They can give facial expressions. They can increase their volume, lower their volume to justify the importance of the scene. Whereas with a book, it is very one-dimensional. You only have one thing, which is the words that you are putting on the page. Yes, a lot of books have images and diagrams and whatnot, but when it comes to plain storytelling, the words are your only friend, you know, in a book, right? So I think
Yes,
when it
yes.
comes to people trying to understand how storytelling works, they can go to YouTube, try to understand how you format a story before you explain it. And this is not just for spoken storytelling. I'm also talking about essays, I'm talking about letters. Even if you feel like you want to write a book, you have to understand how the story works first, then start writing, you know. And obviously, introduction, body, and then conclusion, that is very important. The basic letter format, we have to make it incredibly, we have to expand on it incredibly to make sure that the story makes sense, where you introduce your world or you introduce your characters, you make people understand why the character does certain things, and then see where the twists come in, and how you want to conclude the story. Do you want a happy ending? Do you want a sad ending? Do you want it to be like a little bit of a suspense, so when you launch the second book people are sort of dying to, you know, understand what's going on, try to understand what the reveal
Yes,
is,
yes.
you know. But yes,
And it
story.
agitate your imagination also. It increase your creativity. You
Hmm,
try to form things, connect things, and create something new, unique
right.
when you are
Yeah,
planting or creating a storyline.
definitely.
So only
Yeah.
creative person can write story, not everybody.
I think I think everybody can write a story, but it depends on what sort of story you want to do. So like someone who's not creative can very easily do a documentary story where they explain facts more than adding drama or comedy or romance in the story, right? Um, I think that is why there are a lot of journalists out there who are assigned to separate industries, because some industries like finance are more about analysis. It's more about, this is the information that we have, how do we put it in a presentable manner. Whereas fashion, cinema, all of these industries require them to have this out of the box mindset or creativity, you know, that I have to create a story or create a narrative about this particular article or this particular celebrity. So I think when I look at all these things happening, even when I look at a random movie that has been released, right? Now this new movie came out, F1. Right? The storytelling is amazing. The way they've targeted the sport, but they've also kept a human element about this one main character who's Brad Pitt, and how he struggled through life and how at the end he overcomes his problems, you know. So you can make a story about something, like you said, stick to the point. So the movie's name is F1, so the movie is about the sport, but it's not about them talking about one person who's successful in that movie, in the sport. They are talking about how people in that sport feel towards the sport. What are the highs and the lows that people go through? So they're very generic examples, but they've portrayed it in such a nice way without hurting anybody, without uh, hyping anybody else up randomly. So I think this movie is really good. A lot of critics have given it a very good rating in terms of storytelling, how they were able to sort of portray this excitement through a movie of this sport.
Yes,
And a lot of my
correct.
friends who watch the movie, they're like, wow, I'm excited to watch F1 now that I've seen the movie.
Correct, correct.
If you have the chance, please go watch it. Or maybe if you wait a couple of days, it'll be on some OTT and you can sit at home and have a movie night with your family.
Okay, okay, sure. And like as movies are spine chilling or horror movies are there, same way we can create our story also. That story means words have that power that can create your hair raising, or means it can give you goosebumps. So that words should be used by writer to create that impression. And
Yeah,
when we are writing some like romantic story or something, so what should be mild and soft according to the emotion we are depicting. And always like there are type of stories which have intense action plan or something, so accordingly we plan that plan of story or their storyline should be like that. It should have lot of aggressiveness, or hero should have that vigor and power or strength to show that heroic attitude and everything. So means what is story, you are m- shaking your whole mind in creating, searching words and structuring and creating it and writing it, then you are memorizing it. So
yeah,
it's very good activity if you want to enhance your English learning. So it can be started with a 3 4 lines of small story in a like in the form of one paragraph short stories. Then we can increase it to 2 3 pages, or for long story, and then it can take any other article form also. Like person who are not interested in stories, but there are person who loves to read newspaper articles. So that is also a sort of story only, or writing things only. Like they discuss one point, describe it consequences and terms, how it is
yeah,
going to affect this and that. So this is all about story. I know a little bit about this topic. And everybody means if beginner can also practice the story writing, and advanced learner can also practice the story writing.
yes.
Yeah,
Um, Although I must take your leave, I have a session at 8 o'clock. I am a
yeah,
little late for that.
definitely. Thank you
Um,
so much.
yes, lovely session as always. Nice to meet you again, and please take care of that and get well soon.
Oh, it is going to disappear in the next session. Don't worry.
Yeah,
And wearing this scar doesn't matter a lot because I wear confidence in showing up every day. And I was continuous in my job also. I was not covering my face actually, applying that ointment and other lotions, etc. The doctor prescribed. And still I was working and going for my school and everything. So nothing to worry about this.
right. I'm
Yes.
happy to hear that. Anyway, thank you
Oh,
so much, and I will see you soon.
okay. Good evening. Good night.
Yes, bye bye.